Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we're going to be going over a leg session. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button and like, share, post notifications, and all that good stuff. So, today was a very productive day with the Smith squat. Now, here is where I give thanks that I learned how to do powerlifting and got strong years ago. Because on any given day, when the energy is there, you can really just pour on the heat. It's all dependent on the energy level for that day. So today, I guess I got my rest in. I slept well last night, had a big breakfast, whatever it was. But today I had my programmed leg session, and I was not going to do what I eventually did today, which 15 reps on the Smith with 315. So let's just go over the beginning. I'm incorporating sprints on the bicycle. Now, I used to do these like many years ago, and they are highly effective. The reason I stopped doing them is that they're a pain in the ass. I mean, literally, these sprints will get you so gassed. Your legs will be so on fire that it's kind of like an aversion therapy. You'll do them like once, you'll do them twice, and then you'll start to find, easier ways of going around, doing things. So I said, no, I got to bring up my legs. The bicycle is probably the most leg friendly cardio that you can do, as far as pumping the muscle, low attrition on the knee, no eccentric damage or anything like that. So I started incorporating this a few days ago, and today I warmed up, did 3 sprints. Now they're 30-second sprints. Like the machine registers from 1 to 20. And 10 is like when you're doing your low intensity steady state. I'll go between 10, 11, 12, 13 is pushing it. So I'll bring it down to 10. Anyway, so you push it up to 15 and you push as fast as you can. And let me tell you, like after 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds, it's like every second is like eternity. Like when it gets to 20, it's like, when is this thing going to stop? And it like takes everything, out of me. Like, it took everything I had to finish those 30 seconds, and bring it down to 8 or 9 and just, pedal easily for 3 minutes and then do it again. So that kind of primed me to do the higher reps, right? That's what I attribute it to anyways. So I went up to the Smith machine and warmed up with the 1 plate, put on the 2 plates, and it was feeling pretty easy. Like, I got the angle just right. I don't stand way out in front doing like a hack squat, leaning back like a lot of people do. I like to stand almost completely vertical underneath, even though it's like a slightly angled Smith. But that's the way I do it. It's the way I've learned how to do it to not hurt my knees, to get the most amount of force and the most benefit on my quads and everything. Plenty of hip flexion, and it's working for me. So I've done all kinds of variations in the past, and this is what I have arrived at, is the way I'm doing it now. So if anybody wants to know why, it's because through trial and error, through many years of, trying to, doing these things and doing them with very heavy weight, I found out what can hurt and what can work. So that's the reason for that. So anyways, got up to the 3 plates, and I decided I'm going to do as many reps as I can. Let's see if I can do 10 or 12. I mean, you get gassed. When you're at 7 reps, really, with 3 plates, you start to think, when is this going to end? So right off the bat, it felt great, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th rep, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. When I got to 12, I knew I had it, and hit the 15. The only thing I regret is not going for 20. Like I could have done a staggered, like I could have stopped for a few seconds and then continued, but at the hour of filming this video, like 12 hours after the training session, my legs are killing me. Thank God I didn't do that, because then I couldn't walk, wouldn't be able to walk. So I was so stoked and so excited after doing those 3 plates and had enough energy left over that I decided to put on a little bit more weight and did a 365, but not going for reps. I just did four reps with that. And a couple of those reps had a little bit of form breakdown. Like I was kind of like leaning forward a little bit more than what I would have liked. But hey, not everything is perfect. Felt great anyways, and really happy with what I did on the Smith. Definitely a progression from what I've been doing in the last few sessions. And from there, we went to the leg curl. Keeping it easy. Like on the leg curl, just keeping it between, 50 and 100 pounds. Like, I I can go up to like 120, 130, but today I didn't really want to push it, especially after that, after the Smith. But I did do like 5 sets, so that was getting in the volume, 20 reps, 5 sets of 20 reps, and got a good pump. Like, I finished those 5 sets and it was like, wow, damn, my legs are super pumped after the Smith. After that, then went to the leg press. Now, the leg press I usually do, pyramid up, 4, 5, and finish sometimes with 6 plates. Try to do these strict. I don't do full range of motion. I used to be one of these full range of motion fanatics, that you got to bring your leg all the way down to your chest. And no, like from trial and error and from observing like the guys with really big legs, you keep it at a certain range and just pump it there. So that's what I've been doing. But my legs were so gassed, I guess. I only did 1 set. Did it very slow also. It was almost like a time under tension thing where I was meditating. It was like, okay, just bring it down nice and slow, push it up, and just got 8 reps, but it felt like a lot of work. So finished that, and then finished the session off with the glute bridge. I'm doing these as a finisher, and it just seems to tie in everything else. It's, of course, it doesn't work the quads. It's a glute exercise. It works the hams. But because the quads are so fatigued by this point, and I also pre-fatigue them with the lying leg curls, it seems to tie in everything. Like, I don't have a quad day and a ham day, so I'm doing it all in one day. And it works out perfectly. And then for the grand finale, I do a set of walking lunges. Try to do those super strict, like leaning into the glute, long stride, glute type, plenty of hip flexion. And that was it. But man, it was just an incredible session. Starting out with those sprints and the squat, it's like, wow, I couldn't have asked for more. It's like enough. And it'll probably be another week until I do another leg session because, that takes a little bit of time to recuperate for something like that. I mean, you can train more frequently, but you're not going to be training with that type of progression every single time you train. Like today I got into a discussion on a forum, how often should you train? Some guy says, I train every day. And to me, when somebody says they train every day, that tells me they are not using progressive overload. You can walk every day. You can do calisthenics every day. You can do fluff every day, but you're not going to do squats like that every day. You're not going to do deadlifts or back rows like that every day. You'll train maybe 3 times a week with that type of intensity. So I prefer high intensity, lower frequency, moderate volume type of training. Now, it's not even that low frequency. I'll train like 4 or 5 days a week, but I'll do different body parts, and I definitely won't do legs twice a week, not like that, because you can't progress. There is no way in hell that you're going to do, like, today I did 315 for 15. Now I'm going to go in, like, on Saturday, this is Wednesdays. Now Saturday I'm going to do 335 for 20. It's like, okay, just progress. No, you need time to recuperate. Now, if I do, like, deep knee bends, I'm just going to do like 1 plate. I can do that every day. These people that say they squat every day. You have to qualify these things. You have to think, like, what are you doing? Really, come on, what are you doing? You're doing a very low intensity type of routine to keep this frequency going, but that's not going to build muscle. I mean, it'll build some, I guess, but it's not progressive resistance. And the key to building muscle is mechanical tension, which means you have to put on some weight. You have to increase your workload. You have to increase the weight. There's a school of thought out there that tries to build as much muscle with the least amount of weight. That might be valid, that might be true, but the one thing it can never do is build strength. You can't build strength without heavy weight. I heard somebody say, well, heavy weight is overrated. I said, man, I think light weights are very overrated because they'll never build strength. You will never be benching 3 plates if you're always pumping 1. You might build a chest, you might build some muscle, but you will never build strength. And especially for us older guys, if you want to remain like youthful and strong, you need to exercise your strength. You need to build strength. And you can't fool yourself by thinking that if I do a certain technique with 15-pound dumbbells and just, like burn it and, stagger it and just do more and more and more, I'm going to be really strong. No, the day you have to lift 40 pounds, it's going to be too heavy for you because you're practicing with 15s. There has to be a little bit of a reality check here, okay? If you want to get strong, some people, I guess, they're not interested in getting strong. If they could take a pill or say, just do a little bit of this and get these massive muscles, that's what they would choose to do. But that's not what I choose to do. I choose to search. I want to get strong as I get muscular, because you can't fool Mother Nature. I mean, really, you can get really, you got to look the part, but you also have to be that. You have to be strong. The only way to be strong is by training with heavy weights. There's no way around it. A lot of guys just don't know how to do that. I see it at the gym every day. And what is the number one impediment to getting strong is doing high reps. You get these trainers say, well, until you can do 12 reps with this weight, you don't graduate until, because they've never been exposed to powerlifting, I guess. The way to get strong is with triples, with singles, maximum 5 reps. You can do your back off set and do as many reps as you want, but after you do your heavy training, but you'll never get strong until you start piling on those plates on there. And there's no way you're going to be piling on plates if you're burning yourself out doing 15 reps, 12 reps, 10 reps. By the time you do your heavy set, it's 40-50% of your strength is gone. That's the most backward way of trying to develop strength. But then again, it's just different training systems. Gyms, most commercial gyms and most commercial gym trainers will not expose you to the truth of how to build true power and strength. Now, the advantage of having power and strength is that you could, really turn on the volume with lower weight. Like if you can do 300, 400, 500 pounds, pumping 2 plates is nothing. And when you can, pump with those lighter weights, you're going to get better results than if you're a weaker guy. So that's just my 2 cents about getting, strong. You should invest time in getting as strong as you can. And it'll always be with you. Like, it doesn't go away that easy. Like, really. Like, I go for months without training really heavy. Like today, it's just like, I could have gone up to 4.5. But, then again, you got to take these things, in a sort of a rational kind of way. You can't just jump right into it. In a few weeks, I'd be back into that weight. But if you never do it, you never do it. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. I was going to say some stuff on the diet, but I'll leave that for another episode. I've been talking a bit about the diet in the last few videos. It's basically the same, low carb, sticking around 2,600 calories. I said on another video that I was dieting, I was losing weight on 3,200, and that's true up until a point. Then I stagnated like 15 days ago, almost 20 days ago. I haven't been dropping. So I had to cut. I really had to bring it down, increase the cardio a little bit. And now it's been going down, but it's hovering. It's like not drastic. It hasn't dropped like drastically. And I still need to drop another 4 or 5 pounds. But, that's where we are with that. Anyways, so I'll just leave it at that. The training videos at the end of this segment. And God bless everybody. I love everybody out there. Thank you for, hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time.